So, what was your plan when you came here?
Well, there was no plan to start with. The plan was to prove my mom that I can learn English. That was the plan, you know, because she never believed that I was even capable of doing that.
Okay.
And so the plan was to learn the English, sort of travel around Australia, see this beautiful country, and then see, you know, where it's gonna take me. So I didn't plan to stay here. I didn't plan to sort of stay here for 18 years for sure. So that was never a plan. Just come here, explore this beautiful country, and then learn English. That was the whole game. Well, when I arrived, obviously that was a funny story when the sort of university forgot about me at the airport. Yes. So I arrived like around 10 o'clock at the small airport in Newcastle, and I was standing in the open air.
Yeah.
You know, there's sort of trees around and kangaroos jumping everywhere, and I was there by myself. Waiting for 1 hour, 2 hours, kind of getting worried with my suitcases, because I was supposed to be picked up by the international office at the university, and no one came. So I was waiting until almost 12 o'clock. And then thankfully, when I was visiting my sister in Singapore, she gave me a 50-cent coin, Australian 50 cent, which is a huge one, big coin, just for good luck, whatever.
Okay.
And I used that phone to call the international office in the University of Newcastle to say, "Hello, Edward." That's all I could say. Airport. And then in half an hour they came and picked me up. Yeah.
So you start in trouble.
I started with the trouble.
Yeah,
with the stress.
Like most of the time here in Australia.
That's right. You always start with the trouble, but then things got better and better. I sort of get used to it a little bit. The university was very welcoming. You know, being around sort of so many international students, it's actually helped me a lot. And then I've learned that 90% of Australians are coming from all over the world. I was worried that how I'm gonna fit in, you know, all these Australians with their scary accent, I wouldn't understand anything. But then slowly sort of I mixed with the international sort of students, and you know, I've learned a lot of things, and I visited a lot of places, and it got easier.
Yeah. So the first year was just study English.
Just study English and nothing else. And traveling here and there, discovering sort of a city, you know, New South Wales, put it that way. I couldn't go further. I couldn't speak English.
Yeah. When finished the year?
When I finished,
you're supposed to go back to Russia.
The idea was, yes, to basically finish English, you know, see what it is, and if I would like, I could stay longer. I was planning to go to university, you know, do my masters here.
Yeah.
But obviously, I had issues with money, just like all of us, and I didn't have enough to basically get into university and continue to do masters. So I decided just gonna make the best out of it, and I really planned to go back because my mom was calling me almost every month saying that it's enough, you've proved enough, you gotta
like
go
the
back.
Italian mother.
Yes, absolutely, no difference, you know, I mean, come back, you've got everything home, you know, there's no problem. And I was stubborn enough and saying, no, I gotta do it, I wanna try by myself, and I actually like it.
Yeah.
I like being independent, I like to challenge myself.
And what did you do?
Well, I've decided to think of what else I can do, where I could go. And I realized that there were so many opportunities here. I mean, if you determine enough, if you set a plan, maybe it's not the plan you originally planned, but there are things you could do in order to succeed, even in Australia, because I've seen a lot of opportunities. I see the freedom, I see the sun, I see that it's all possible.
The ocean.
The ocean, that's right. So I've decided I need to think of maybe I could stay here a little bit longer, but how, I didn't know. I had $200 in my pocket at that time when I was sitting at the beach, and I was thinking, what else can I do, you know? So I've decided, okay, shall I just come back and join the boring university life again, you know, and spend all this money to study something which is good and good for my future, and that's what my mom tells me, or try something else, make heaps of mistakes. And but I will do it by myself. It's all gonna be on me. And I decided, you know, why I could try to explore something what I really like. And I always liked food. And I decided maybe I could try to be a chef. And that I just didn't know how to say it to my mom. That's all. So I started doing research. How would I become a chef? What do I need to study? How long? How much? Obviously.
Yeah.
How can I manage it? And I found out that that time was affordable, except no international students were allowed to study commercial cookery in Australia. So I decided, okay, by that time I was already sort of speak English really well. So I decided I'm gonna go and pay visit to the dean of the faculty at TAFE in in Newcastle to see maybe there is a way.
Okay.
Luckily, the dean of the faculty at TAFE, he was a fantastic person. Reynold Foster, I still remember him. If he would see me on Facebook, he probably would remember me. First, he tried to explain me for almost 40 minutes that it cannot be done. But I was determined and said, listen, you know, I'm a very dedicated student and I could do magic. So he decided, okay, I'm gonna set up a course just for you to make it full-time, but you will have to finish what Australians do in 4 years. You gotta finish it in 1 year. Can you do it?
Ah.
And you cannot fail even one subject.
But you like the challenge?
I like the challenge. At that time, I didn't even think how hard it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay, I just said, yes, done.
Okay.
Just sign me in. So I renewed my visa and started to study commercial cookery.
How did you do?
It was very difficult. I mean, not in terms of the actually cooking part and learning it, in terms of the sort of explaining things in English, because Newcastle, it's very sort of an Australian sort of a little city, you know, and all the teachers, all the students were not international students. I found it really hard sort of to communicate, and I was funny as well, but all of them are sort of nice and friendly, you know, and they were laughing at my accent. Yeah, it was very challenging, but I was very excited. You know, and I pulled myself together. I was sitting in the libraries 24/7, studying all the recipes, and I was excited about it because I believe that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Not my mom. My mom reaction was kind of she was stunned for a second when I was on the Skype, and then she said, "So you graduated in the best universities in Russia to be a chef in Australia?"
Yeah.
And I was looking at her. I said, "Well, this is sort of could be something like a hobby," because I didn't want to make her upset or anything.
You was looking for the freedom.
Yes, I was looking for a freedom, and to be honest, I wanted to do something different away from the sort of what I was studying before.
Okay.
And that was a fantastic opportunity. I actually liked what I was doing.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I did what I had to do, and I set up the challenge for
just
myself.
1 year.
I did everything in 1 year. It was very hard. I had exams like almost every week for every single subject. I knew every single person in TAFE because I was in every single subject studying for where all Australians were studying. But it was exciting, and it accelerated me with ability to speak better English, with confidence, and I actually ticked my box that I could actually do it. It could be done.
Fantastic.
So I challenged myself, I got it. Then I sort of, once I got that, I realized how great it is here, and I wanted to stay a bit longer.
Yeah.
Obviously, the student
like everyone. Like everyone.
That's right. I mean, I fall in love with this country. I spent already by that time was 2.5 years. My sister was not in Australia, so I was still all by myself.
And that time was good also for the visa.
Yeah, that time, I mean, I can tell you for sure, that time was as stressful as right now.
Ah, yeah?
So it was just a different stress.
Ah, okay.
You know, you still have to go through all the pain and suffering. And so I decided, okay, why not, you know, again, why not? So I went to see a migration agent, and he told me, yes, there is a possibility for you to apply for some sort of a working visa or even permanent residence, because your skills are on the list and you already had some sort of a work experience. I said, okay, well, you know, instead of keep on renewing visa, I just got permanent residence if I can, and then see what happens. You know, I could always go home, I could go travel. I came in one day to that migration agent, and I gave him the money and said, okay, take care of my paperwork, and he offered me to come in for the next sort of interview and sort of submit all the documents. I turned up next week after, I don't know how many hours I worked, very tired, still remember wearing chef uniform, full of oil,
with
and
the
stains.
hat?
No, not with the hat. But that time I had a ponytail.
Yeah,
believe it
okay.
or not.
Ah, okay.
Yes, I had a long hair.
The ponytail?
Yeah, and the earring in my ear.
Oh, fantastic.
I know, I was crazy.
Yeah, I was looking for the freedom.
Yes, I was looking for a freedom.
Everywhere.
Anyway, I turned up, the office closed, there was only tables and chairs, money is gone, the migration agent disappeared, and my visa was expiring in 3 days.
No.
Yes.
And
then I got scared.
Yes.
Then I got really scared because, you know, I mean, it's all happening like in a few days. Then obviously I rang my sister and started crying to her, saying that I need something.
Not to your mother.
Not to my mother, absolutely not. When I call my mom, I will say everything is fine, everything is great.
Good. Yeah.
No problem, everything is fixed. So I called my sister, and that time she just arrived to Perth with her husband, and she was also in panic, and she found a different migration agent in Perth who could take over the paperwork quickly. had to pay again. Money is gone. I couldn't find
Yeah?
that person. Yeah, I went to the police. I reported everything, but
Enough.
nothing. So I had to forget about all that. So I applied, and surprisingly, within almost a month, I think, I've got the confirmations that I got permanent resident. But to me, I felt no different because I was so excited about what I was doing. I mean, it was great news, so I didn't have to worry about visas or anything else. But at the same time, life goes on.
Yeah.
So I decided to set up more challenges.
Why not? I like it. Why not? Hai capito benissimo. I like it.